Whiskey Mike 6 Papa. Whiskey Mike 6 Papa. Steve in Georgia, over.
Roger, Steve in Georgia. And what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Steve in Georgia. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm using AIRCHECK K-4. I've had about 3 days now. Using the hand mic. I've set up EQ. I think it sounds pretty fair, I've been told, but very much like to get an analysis, over.
Roger, listening to it now. And you are in K4, 6 region, Roger?
K4, 6 region, Roger?
Negative. I'm in northwest Georgia.
All right, so that would be a 4 region, I believe. Anyway, I have a map for different regions that I kind of assigned LEDs to, so I tried to match up the region with the folks that are transmitting. Looking at your audio, maybe you might be able to give me maybe 10 seconds or so. Tell me about your antenna system, and I'll look at a little bit, Roger.
Your antenna system, and I'll look at a little bit, Roger.
Wonderful. Again, the handle is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. Just received this K4 using an AIRCHECK amplifier. The antenna is a very simple inverted V, half-wave resonant with the apex at about 40 feet. And I've set up the EQ to try and cut down on some of the bass. And hopefully it sounds pretty good. Over.
Roger, we'll talk on, do a little work on that just in the short if you would be interested. We have a setup procedure that you might be interested in. Starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but it helps us resolve at a 3 dB dynamic range at the end. So our procedure for setup would begin with the compressor at a 3. Roger?
Begin with the compressor at a 3. Roger?
Roger. Hold on. Let me gain that control. As I said, this is a new radio to me, so let's see here. Okay, we'll turn the compression. Well, we'll start with it off. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is a setting of 3. Let's see here. It's registering about 5% compression. Where do you think I ought to go from here, over?
That's good. We're looking for 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Only want about a third of the capabilities of that compressor, Roger?
About a third of the capabilities of that compressor, Roger?
Roger. I think that's about where we are right now. It's a minor amount of the compression, over.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, double check to be sure that your pass band is running 100 to 2900. Pass band 100 to 2900, Roger?
Pass band 100 to 2900, Roger?
Okay, I was in error. Now I am at 1/3 compression. It turns out this is 10 out of 30. And, all right, well, let's set the pass band. Well, I have control over the receive, but the transmit is set for a 2.9. I could go into my menus here, and we'll get to transmit TX in a moment, over.
Well, Steve, 2.9 and 2900 are the same thing, Roger?
Steve, 2.9 and 2900 are the same thing, Roger?
Correct. If you're going from 0 to 2900, right, over.
Roger. Actually, normally that 2900 bandpass is 100 to 2900, but you sound, close enough for government work, so we'll consider you running 100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger.
Roger. It does say TX.
Gosh, Milford, my SDR that I was on just kicked me off. So I'm on my local antenna, and I just heard you back off your key. I think I've got a pretty good copy on you. Let me hear you for just a second and see if I've got you on my local antenna.
Okay, this is Whiskey Mike 6 Papa, WM6P. Over.
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear, probably about almost 15 over, so very good. All right, so now let's go to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And while you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, or 100, 100, 100, whichever comes first, but just at a nice tempo, adjust your ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control. Mic gain control to make that ALC run 100 to 20. I'm sorry, make that ALC run mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Roger. Okay, that's where we are right now. It's showing ALC approximately 2/3. I'll turn down the mic a little bit. Yes, that is just right about 2/3. Over.
Roger, Roger. And, your position to mic is very important. Are you running, what, about 3, 4 inches from mic?
Possibly a little bit closer than that. More like 2 off to the side a little bit. Over.
All right. What I want you to do maybe is crank in a couple of clicks treble boost to kind of brighten you up a little bit. That's why I asked you how close you were, because obviously, we're engaged in proximity effect as you get closer to mic. So now, if you're running just a couple inches off that mic, you might want to raise your treble EQ. Let's say 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. What kind of EQ do you have, by the way?
I have an 8-band. So for the treble, I've got a 3200 hertz band, 24, 16, 12, and so forth down the band. Over.
Yes, sir. Okay, the 2.4, bring that up 2 clicks, and the one above that, bring that up 4 clicks.
Okay, I've increased the treble on the 2400 and the 3200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over.
Okay. Do you have anything around 27, 26 around through there?
Well, I've got the 2400 would include the 2600. The step here is from 3200. There's a band down to 24 and 16. So in the treble range, those are my 2 center points of small bands.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, let's try that upper frequency, the one above 2.4. Bring it up 4 clicks boost.
Okay, it's at max. It's at a plus 16 dB at the moment.
Oh, it is. It is. Wow. That's a little high for, the ideal frequency, I guess, would be about 2.7 or somewhere in there. So you're saying that, is that the uppermost bandpass that you have on that EQ?
That is correct, 3200, and it is maxed out, and I can certainly bring it down such that the 2400 is dominant. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, is that a parametric?
I'm uncertain.
Okay, do you have 3 controls for each frequency or only 1?
It's a fixed band equalizer with sliders, and I can set it from minus 16 dB up to plus 16 dB in each of the 8 bands. Over.
Roger. Okay, let's take that 2.4 up 2 more clicks.
Okay, that's maxed out at the plus 16 dB. Over.
Alrighty, and gosh, why don't you give me about 10? You have a radio story handy. I would appreciate maybe a half a minute or so radio story, and I could listen to your audio a little clearer. Roger.
Okay, well, I shall try and be creative. The AIRCHECK Corporation, located in Watsonville, California, they got behind on their K-4 deliveries. They were hit by COVID, wildfires, and the state of California shut them down. And they had to leave. Everyone had to leave the production line. So that was quite a disaster for them. But they have begun producing, and they have delivered serial number up to about number 450 for this new radio. So I hope that assists you. Over.
Yes, sir. It looks good on the frequency meter there as far as your their EQ curve. I would go with that. And your dynamic range seems to be about 3 dB, which is what we're looking for, which would mean that your average percent of peak modulation is running about 80 to 85%. So I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, sir.
Okay. I shall make a note of those settings. And like yourself, I like to have lots of trouble in my voice, when it gets a little noisy on the band and so forth. Unfortunately, it seems like 50% of the hams sound like they're in a barrel. For some reason, they want to boost the 0 to 500 hertz, and and then it makes it very difficult to understand them. Over.
Yes, sir. The thing is, if you're going to have a lot of bottom end, you need a lot of top end. The whole idea is balance the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. And that's why we normally say that in a multi-band equalizer, like an 8-band or 16-band or whatever you have, we want all those frequencies in the mid-range flat. Because, here you pay big bucks, for a microphone that has a halfway decent frequency response, particularly through the mid-range. So there's no reason to create divots in that frequency response in the mid-range. It's the top and the bottom that you want to balance to the mid-range, Roger.
I understand. Okay, well, do you have any other suggestions for the EQ, or do you think it's fairly well optimized?
I like it. I would suggest that you break out your ALC meter as for something to do and for something to look at as you're speaking along. Keep your ALC meter out for the next week or so and be looking at that ALC as you're talking. And pretty soon I think you'll be able to command that ALC to do exactly what you want by your voice. Okay.
Well, it does show full time on transmit, so there's no getting around it. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's in lieu of a VU meter. I think the ALC meter does nicely. It tells you exactly what's going on, and and more precise than maybe RF output would. Roger.
I understand. Well, unfortunately, this radio on transmit shows ALC, RF power out, SWR, and compression simultaneously, so it's the display really keeps you informed.
Yes, sir. Well, somebody with some brains is designing that radio. That's beautiful. That's the whole thing, to be able to get instantaneous feedback about what's happening with your radio. Roger.
Roger. May I have your name and location, please?
Yes, sir. The name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and we are located just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky.
Got it. I have not been to that area in quite some time, but I know it's lovely. Over.
Yes, sir. Louisville, home of beautiful horses and fast women.
Okay, well, I'll certainly vote for that.
Roger, Steve. All right, 73, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend.
Thank you very much, Jim. I'll look for your YouTube under your call sign logbooks.
Yes, sir, that's it. KC9VKV, on a YouTube search, KC9VKV logbook, and that will bring you to our QSO-VLOG page. There's 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings there. This one will be number one. Regardless of what YouTube says it is, this one will be number one, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Wonderful. Well, I'll look forward to listening to that tomorrow. And it was just a miracle. I just happened to run across your service here, and I do thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just do this on Friday afternoons, and it keeps us busy all week long processing the information. So, 73, Steve, thanks for dropping by.
You're more than welcome, and thank you, Jim. 73. I'll be monitoring.
Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.